Hello, my name is Rebecca Heath, and this is your welcome introduction video to Foundations of Nursing, PNUR 151. Your Canvas dashboard should look something like this, and hopefully you've already watched the introduction video to PNUR 154 MedSurg 1. If you haven't, maybe go take a look at that video first, because I'm going to go over I went over a lot of things in that video that I'm not going to go over today because they're just general nursing things, nursing program things. So let's click on Foundations 1. I do want to note that Foundations Lab, PNUR 152, is associated with this class. So the content is very um, collaborative, or there's a lot of crossover with the content. A lot of what we're going to learn in the class, we're going to practice in the lab. So for the class itself, this is a 5 credit hour class, which is a lot. It is hybrid, so we're only meeting on Tuesdays from 8 to noon, which only 4 hours, right? It's a long class. However, we're going to make it fun, interactive. It's going to be a good learning experience. So this should look similar to our normal classes that you have seen, with our weekly modules being hyperlinked here. Let's go and look at the syllabus really quick. There we are. So for the syllabus, some things like I'm not going to go over, but I will say I will put our office hours on here um, when we set our office schedule. We do have our course student learning outcomes here, and they're all kind of linked to say, like, how are they related to program outcomes, institutional outcomes, and even the NLN or National League of Nursing objectives. We have our topics week by week with what we're going to be going over, and then assignments, and then how they're linked to those objectives here. And I'm not going to go over each week. I am going to tell you that we have support class. There's going to be 2 unit tests, a final exam. Your grade percentage breakdown is attendance, worth 5% of your grade. So come to class, come on time. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. There's going to be a dosage test. Every nursing program term will have a dosage test. That's 5% of your grade. Support is worth 5% of your grade. Individual project is worth 5%. Your group project is going to be worth 10. Weekly assignments are worth 20. Your tests are worth 30. Finals 20. All tallies to 100%. Just like every nursing course, 80% or 3.0 is your necessary score to pass and progress in the program. Late work assignments, same for everything. I explained it in the Med-Surg course orientation. I think that might be all that I really highlighted for this one. So let me move out of here. And let's go to our modules. So one thing I do want to note is that our first week, I'm counting it as 925. It's an orientation, but I'm actually taking a little bit longer time because you're going to have lab all day on Friday, the 26th. And so you need a little bit of like orientation. What are we doing to then go into lab? So just know it's going to be a little bit of classwork. I do want you to finish this ATI Engage Fundamental Foundations of Nursing. It says it's due September 30th. I really would like you to do it by the 25th. You're going to need it to go into doing lab and kind of see some of these foundations or some of the things we're going to be talking about. Attendance, you're not going to have to put anything here. This is just where we're going to have it listed for you. If you're more than 15 minutes late to class without notifying me, without a valid excuse, you're only going to receive 50% credit. And that's because when you come late to class, you miss out so much of what our objectives and like the plan of what we're working on through the day. It's disruptive to the class, it's disruptive to the instructors. So just know, please be on time. Going back, um, do, 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 do. For the assignments, I've tried to put on them how long they'll take. So in ATI Engage Fundamentals Nursing Foundations is about 60 minutes. That's from ATI. They tell me on average, that's how much time it takes students. You might find that it takes you more time or less time. That's just what ATI has said. You're also going to have resources in week 1 that will have things like, here's a link to help you navigate through ATI, learn about it, or here's a PowerPoint for week 1. Some of these resources might be changing, so know that they're a work in progress. So I think that's about it for that. One thing I do want to go back to the homepage and just remind you of a couple important dates. We're going to have test number one on 10/21, test number two, the 8th. You're going to have a group project on the 28th, your dosage test the 25th, and final exam on the 9th. When it looks like this, you might think, oh my goodness, do I have a test every week? And the answer is yes, you probably will. Um, the reason for that is because you're in the fast track nursing program, everything is very condensed. And if we were not to give you a test in every week, like with med surg and foundations and mental health, like all of these classes, you're going to have tests. And we would rather, as instructors, we've collaborated to spread them out. So you don't end up with one week where you have a test with mental health on Monday morning and med surg Monday afternoon and then foundations Tuesday morning, right? That would be horribly mean of us. So we have spread them out to make it a little bit easier for you. By doing that, though, it does mean you probably have a test every week. There might be one week, I think you might have more than one test, but we've really tried to smooth it for you. I think that's it for what I wanted to share with you. Go ahead and after you've watched this, make sure to check out the Foundations of Lab welcome video. We'll go over a little bit more of kind of what you're going to be doing in the lab. So look forward to seeing you guys on Thursday, September 25th.